This is probably going to be very nerdy, but if you want to see how meta ad campaigns can be profitable on Spotify, this video is for you. This fall, my record label spent $5,204 across 13 songs. This video is meant to show you why I think we will make our money back on these 13 songs within 1 year. And just a disclaimer, you can promote your music however you want. This is just the way that I prefer to do it. My name is Alex, and this is Nani, and we run an EDM record label called Spiration Music. The statistics that I'm going to show you in this video are for songs that we license. We split the profit with the artist 50-50, and we don't require any sort of upfront payment for an artist to release with us. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you probably don't think it's possible to get real ROI with meta ads to Spotify. Every time I post the results of a meta ads campaign and the subsequent Spotify for Artists data, I get comments like these. A lot of people saying that I have lost money and it was a bad investment. And they are right, sort of. The campaigns that I run that are successful take about 8 to 12 months to break even. And most of my campaigns have taken place over the last 5 months. So admittedly, the songs that I promoted this fall have not broken even yet, but I am 99% certain that on average, they will. So let's look at the data that leads me to believe that. I put all of the songs that we promoted using individual meta ad campaigns and playlisting in this spreadsheet here. These songs were released between September and early December of 2024. We have the song names in column A, the total streams that each song had as of January 29th in column B, the average monthly streams each song was getting in column C. In column D, we had the total amount that we paid for their meta ad campaign. Column E is how much we paid for playlisting, and we have the totals at the bottom. The amount that we did for playlisting, the way we calculate this number is a little more complicated than you would think because we run ads to our own playlist. Each song takes on a fraction of the total cost, and so that's how we come to the number of $15 per song. I'll make a separate video for how we do the playlisting, but I want to focus mainly on the individual song campaign because that is where the vast majority of our budget is spent, and that's also where we get the best results. We can see that in total, all of these songs have, as of January 29th, about 500,000 streams. The group of songs is getting, on average, 132,000 additional streams per month. So we have recouped about $1,669.87, and we are getting $450 in revenue every month from this group of songs. Based on these numbers, I expect the break-even point to be about 8 months from the time of recording all of this data, which is January 29th. So I would think that these songs, on average, together, will break even next September. To put it in a more simple way, we spent $5,204 total dollars. We have recouped about $1,669, and we are gaining about $450 in monthly revenue since those songs were released. So we think we will break even around September of 2025. Now, this prediction relies on a very important fundamental idea, and that is that the streaming will continue after my meta ad campaigns have finished. In order to break even by September, I need to rely on that $450 in revenue every month from those songs. And the reality is some songs do continue to grow after a campaign is over. Some songs stay steady and some songs decrease in streams after the campaign is over. On average, this group of songs seems to be keeping steady. So I'm going to show you 2 examples. I'll show you an example of a song that is continuing to grow after the campaign, and I'll show you an example of a song that is decreasing in streams now that the campaign is over. This song has 53,000 total streams. We released this song in late November, so November 24th, and the campaign ended on December 30th. And you can tell the campaign ended because the saves for this song just plummet. Even though the saves plummeted, if we look at the streams, they have continued to rise even though the campaign has completed. We can see that many of these streams are from the Spotify algorithmic playlists, but we also have a ton from listeners' own playlists and library. This song is likely to return its investment in a timely fashion. Now here's another example. Both of these songs, I spent $500 promoting using individual meta ad campaigns. This one seems like it's worth it. This second one does not seem so worth it. So during the campaign, we can see that campaign started December 7, and ended about January 10th. The streams, once the campaign ended, just continued to go down. So this song does not look like it's going to return its investment anytime soon. Maybe it will in a handful of years, but it's not going to be within the 8 to 12 month period. Back on the slideshow, I want to drive home the point that songs can continue to grow after their campaign is over a little more by showing 2 examples of songs that I started promoting much longer ago than just the fall. This is a song that we released in April. The first campaign was run for about a month, and we used a little over $500 in that campaign. As you can see, once the campaign finished, we were getting more streams than when the campaign was going. For that reason, an extra $1,100 was added to the campaign's budget. The campaign restarted at this point here and was again growing in streams. When the campaign finished, it continued to grow, even though we were not sending additional traffic to the campaign anymore. We can also look at the saves for this song to see the same information that we did with the other 2 examples. The saves dropping indicates that the campaign is over, and even though the saves drop, as we can see on the previous page, the streams increased. This is another example of a song that we promoted. This song was released in December of 2023. So we're looking at the past year here, but we are not seeing the entire picture. Even though the campaign finished a little over a year ago, this song has been extremely steady in its streams. It goes up, it goes down, but over the course of the last 12 months, it stayed very steady. For this campaign, we spent about $300 in meta ads and $60 for playlisting. So this campaign has profited months ago. How did we actually do this? What is a meta ad campaign? How do we set them up? Well, I'll show you. We're going to start with an example of the best performing ad in all of our campaigns this past fall. It looks like this.
I don't know if I'm just tired. I don't know if I'm to blame. Maybe I'm just sick of trying over and...
So, amazing song, extraordinarily simple video. People are often surprised at how well these very simple visuals perform. If the song is really grabbing people's attention, the visual can be simple, and that actually helps the campaign in many cases. Not always, but most of the time for us, that is true. A user will see that ad on Instagram, and when they click on the ad, they're taken to this link. This is a landing page that I made with Hyped. It has my Facebook pixel installed on it, and it has 3 music service options. We are measuring and optimizing for when somebody clicks one of these music services. The vast majority of clicks go to Spotify, and only a few goes to these other ones. So if a user clicks play on their phone or on the desktop, it will open up Spotify and take the user to that song and start playing the song automatically. For this particular campaign, it cost us 14 cents to get somebody to click on the ad and then also click on a music service. The United States was the most popular country for the song, where we had a conversion cost of 12 cents per person clicking on the ad and then clicking on the landing page to go to the song. This resulted in thousands of streams. The song is doing extraordinarily well, and the biggest day of streams for the song was 3,500 streams in a single day because of the Discover Weekly algorithm. I have multiple videos on this channel breaking down exactly how I set up these campaigns line by line in the Meta Ads Manager. And I'll link to the video where I'm breaking down this exact campaign setup so that you can see exactly what we did to get this song to over 100,000 streams. When I look at these results, what I see is the ability to make back 10% of my lump sum investment every month after these campaigns are over. So I spend $5,000, I make about $500 back per month. But what can I do to get better results? The first thing is I shouldn't spend on underperforming campaigns. This fall, I probably could have saved about $1,000 if I had stopped underperforming campaigns earlier. I let them go because I wanted to learn, but in the future, I'm going to stop them and reallocate that budget to other songs. That will probably look like stopping campaigns that are below average after they've spent $100 instead of letting them go up to $300 or $500 in total ad spend. The other aspect of that is putting that extra budget into high-performing campaigns. But what is a high-performing campaign? I already showed an example one previously, but I consider a high-performing campaign a campaign that continues to grow in stream count at a faster rate than when the campaign was on. The exact process that I am going to follow is spend money on an initial campaign. When the campaign is over, I will wait a couple of weeks. If the song continues to grow after the campaign has completed, I will double the initial budget and run a campaign again for another 5 weeks. What do I want you to learn from this video? That meta ads for streaming can be profitable, but it takes two things. One, it takes time. A successful campaign can still take months and up to a year to return its initial investment before it starts to profit. And two, it takes the right music. That part is a lot harder to do. I'm in a very fortunate position. My label receives hundreds of demos per week, and I accept less than 1% of them. If I were only choosing the top 1% of 10 demos every single week, my results would be far worse than they are choosing the top 1% of hundreds of demos. And before you go, if you are an EDM producer and you want this type of promotion to be done for you for no charge, except for the 50-50 revenue split, you can submit a demo to Spiration Music using the link in the description of this video. And as promised, the video right here should be the video that shows us breaking down the exact setup we used for our most successful meta ads campaign this past fall.